Hello tacticians! I finally made it to the last Mythic Journey of the Tau campaign event, Xybias. So let's get cracking, because I can't wait to be done with the damn Tyrannids and Gene Stealers. At least until Snowpricks decide that these factions need new heroes. Mission 1. Defeat 2 taunted enemies with Xybia in one turn. This mission is going to be infinitely easier in the Tau campaign event due to capping. You're gonna have to get some enemies sandwiched between the Tyrant Guard and a wall, or the map's edge, to block its knockback. I found such a positioning in the Tau CE Stage 3, but I'm pretty sure you can get this done in Onslaught as well.
The first mission of Xybia's Mythic Journey supposedly requires her to defeat 2 taunted enemies in one turn, and that is with some setup possible here in the Tau campaign event Stage 3. So let me try. I'm just gonna pass the turn for now to bait out the airstrikes. And when that happens, I'm gonna position backwards like this, and hopefully everything will survive the bombardments this time. Good. Now the next step is to position better and not let any more neophytes spawn. So I'm gonna do this. Basically, I want the Lobster to be able to use his active, but also a wall to block off its knockback. And also Xybia needs to be in range, and actually this looks kinda perfect, because now I can have Xybia taunt this Voxcaster, and I'm gonna buff her with Holland because she will need to do damage soon. So now the Voxcaster is taunted onto the Tyrant Guard, and the Tyrant Guard can use its active on this Voxcaster, and now Xybia can hit the southern Voxcaster and splash into the north one, which should guarantee the 2 kills on the taunted enemies. And that went much better than I expected, so I'm really happy. Exact positioning may be a problem because of the default neophyte, but with 5 units it should be possible to use just your units, to the heroes I mean, to funnel the enemies in the way that makes this reliable. So yeah, kinda happy. That worked out better than I had expected. And clearing out all the summoned trash is still as much pain in the ass as it always is. There. One more thing to note. I removed the Tyrant Guard's crit item for this, so that he reliably, or it reliably, or whatever, doesn't kill stuff with its active, so that Xybia can really finish them off. Because you only have one shot at this, because it sadly needs the abilities. And with that, the stage is cleared, and that's how the mission can be done if you're logged into the Tau event. Moving on.
Mission 2. Deal 8000 damage to enemies that have the mind control effect with Xybia in one turn. I will skip the practical for this mission because while it's probably very easy to do this one in a raid with your Neurothrope team because of all the synergies, I didn't want to cost my guild a good ticket against the Mythic 2 Lion for the footage. And while it's definitely possible in the arena, after recording the practical for mission 4, I couldn't find a viable opponent lineup on a map where I would feel confident in my ability to even survive with the supports I need for my Gold 1 Xybia, who, for the record, would have been Kalgar, Trajan, and Ahriman. Having to extend the fight all the way into turn 3 because on turn 1 you're out of range, on turn 2 you use Xybia's active to taunt your target onto a tank while trying to kill and or survive all the other enemies without casualties, so that you can fully buff and unload with Xybia on turn 3, leaves only the most choke pointy maps against purely melee teams viable. Sorry, one sometimes needs to know their limits. Moving on. Mission 3. Summon 50 units with Xybia. On the first glance, an easy mission, because Xybia can just sit back, relax, and poop out a Gene Cultist every turn after the first one. But in practice, I gave up recording of a practical trying to cheese it in the Tau campaign event stages with Voxcasters, because very quickly they start summoning the Arcadians behind your wall and stomping Xybia's decoys. So I'm gonna recommend grinding this mission out in the other stages of the campaign event, or maybe even in Onslaught, and I don't think it's gonna be an enjoyable experience. Moving on. Mission 4. Score 5 hits with Xybia in one turn. This one is a bit spicy, but should be doable somewhat reliably in the arena. Bring Galgords, Thoriad and Yazagor, and be ready to lose a match. Also, as I was recording the practical, I forgot mission 2 requires a target under the effect of Xybia's active, so maybe ignore my comments about that.
The fourth mission of Xybia's Mythic Journey is supposedly for her to score 5 hits in one turn, and I think that's gonna cost me an arena match. So, with Xybia having 2 hits by default and potentially a third hit from her splash in ranged attack, I'm gonna use Galgord's Va, Thoriad's passive, and the extra hit to Psykers from Yazagor's active to buff Xybia's melee attack up to the 5 hits. So, wish me fucking luck. I'm not entirely sure actually that Xybia is now adjacent to Galgords, but I'm gonna assume she is. I can't really read the map anymore with the units positioned. So anyway, with Xybia adjacent to Galgords, the Va should be fine, and I think the main problem here is going to be either Volk or Archimatos. I'm still deciding who to try to kill first. I'm gonna go for Arch. There. Great, Arch survived. That's not good. So next up, I'm gonna teleport Xybia with Yazagor, and I'm gonna use that to kill Harken. So I will do this. Good. Next, I'm going to buff Xybia with Thoriad, and actually I may be able to kill Harken already, so never mind. Okay, so back to the original plan, and wow, this would be allowing Xybia to deal over 8000 damage, so that would complete even mission 2. I guess that saves me recording a practical. So yeah. Kill Harken with Xybia, and that should have been the 5 hits. And now I'm gonna use Karn's active to kill Volk and hopefully finish off Arch. Okay. And now I just need either Karn or Galgords to survive. And this should be fine. So let's have Karn kill Abaddon, which is lore accurate. He would have. If Korn didn't stop him. Oh, and looks like Galgords solved the problem for me. So yeah, this is roughly how you can go about completing Xybia's fourth and also second Mythic Journey mission. Moving on.
Mission 5. Deal 80,000 damage with Xybia. Still not a fan of the grind a silly amount of damage missions, but at least with the Tau campaign event you can complete it for cheap in the Extremist Stage 3.
The final Xybia's Mythic Journey mission is supposedly for her to deal 80,000 damage, and yeah, I'm gonna cheese that here in the Tau campaign event stage 3 at the extremist difficulty, where all the Cadians, including the Voxcaster's summons, have, let's say, 900 HP, so you only need to kill some 90 of them with Xybia to get the mission done. So I'm gonna start by positioning Klopster in defense mode ahead of the team to make the Voxcasters aim their bombardments somewhere to the front. There. Now I'm gonna run back to hopefully survive said bombardments. Good. And now I just need to surround Xybia at a distance. Kinda, I'm gonna say like this so that I can already start attacking. And just like this, you only need to keep everyone alive, which should be rather easy with the Klopster providing the mitigations. And well, be conservative with the kills so that you don't run out of your Cadian's buffer like I just did, and don't lose too many of the Voxcasters. So yeah, you probably want to fill the map first and then start killing. Sadly, I don't really know of a way that would count enemies here like the Act of Faith, so Sororitas do for the Imperium, so you will just have to keep at it for an indefinite amount of time. Now I don't wanna keep you here forever, so I'm just gonna clear the stage so that I don't waste the energy, and consider this functionally solved. Wow, I expected Mr. Hyde to kill the weakened Cadian, but I guess he felt like a bigger snack. Yeah, go for the Voxcaster, potentially splash the last Voxcaster, kill him with the Death Leaper, and now it's just problem of whacking one mole at a time. So yeah, very interesting mission, much strategy, very wow. And that's roughly how you can cheese the final Xybia's mission and finally get her to ascend.
And that's how I'll get my Xybia to Mythic if I ever find the time and resources to push her all the way there. Seeing how the Gene Stealers are super annoying to fight against in the Guild Wars, and that Xybia may be a way to sneak another plus 20% damage bonus to the final 2 rounds with the Neurothrope raid team while still providing parasite stacks, maybe I will divert some energy their way after all. And that, at least theoretically, covers everything about Xybia and her Mythic Journey. So the only thing that remains is to thank you for watching the video and express my maybe even sincere hopes it helped you. If it did, stay tuned for more. Karin, out.